Hey guys, we just wanted to jump on here and let you know how our trip went. So
You're doing. I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing. You're doing great.
So Amber's just gonna ask some questions.
Yes.
And this is terrible.
So, no, we're good. So the trip did not go quite as planned. The original trip was that we were both going to be in Haiti for 18 days. That my family and Ethan and my mother-in-law were going to be with us for the first 9 days. And then they were going to come back, and then we were going to stay together, just the two of us. And I ended up not being able to stay due to some health things that were going on with me. And so then the president of Voice of Compassion, Jerry, ended up flying down and staying with Olivia for the remaining 9 days, which was tough for both of us from different points of view, I guess, but it was a tough decision to come to. But at the same time, a lot of good things still did come out of it, and we can see where the Lord was working during all of that. So this video is going to be a little bit of me kind of interviewing Olivia and just getting kind of what happened after I left and some of what she experienced, because being there for as long as she was there, she really got to view and experience Haiti in a different, more in-depth sort of way. So that's going to be what this video is primarily about. So, Olivia, we were able to do the home visits together. We did about half of them, a little less than half, before I had left. A little less than half?
A little less. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so you continued on with the home visits after I left. So how did you feel like overall, not just on the second half of the trip, but the whole trip, how do you feel like the home visits went, or what were some of the highlights of the home visits for you?
I thought the rest of the home visits went really well. It was definitely different than the previous home visits with the whole group, because going with just two of us, it was definitely more difficult, because there's a couple times where my brain would just go completely blank.
Yes.
And I was not able to think of the questions that we were trying to ask. I did get in a pretty good rhythm and was able to get most of the questions asked, but it was definitely more difficult and just a crazy experience. One of my, probably the highlights of the second portion of the trip was there was a couple days where we got to ride motorcycles through Haiti, and so I was on one with our translator Sylvace, and then Keelik drove another one with Ginsley on the back, and Ginsley held the suitcase behind him with our rice and beans and our Bibles on the motorcycle. So I definitely felt like a native. I definitely felt like I was one of them.
Yeah.
So that was probably one of the highlights. And then just continuing to get to know the families and putting a face to the name and seeing their houses and just seeing the different things that these families are doing. Like a lot of the women are sellers, so they buy food and then go to the market and sell it for just a little bit more of a price to get a little bit of income. But there were some people that, like, one family had turkeys, and they would raise these turkeys and then butcher them and sell them. And then there was another lady who would buy a pig, and she would have the pig for a couple of days, butcher it, and then sell the pig meat. Mm-hmm. And so there was just this different way of life that these people are living, and it was just so amazing to get to know and really, get my hands into what they were doing.
Yeah, I think for me, like, being on this end, and we were able to talk quite a bit while you were there, but I feel like after the big group left and being in a smaller group, you were definitely able to experience Haiti, like, more authentically. Yes. And I mean, I try to be happy for you for that, but I am definitely jealous, and I look forward to going again and maybe being able to experience some of that. And I feel like as the home visits happened, when we were there, the first half, we really interviewed a lot of the students that were close to the school, and like it was definitely different. Every home was unique, but they were still really kind of in the same area. But on the second half, the home visits that you did, you really kind of spread out, and you had some that were more rural or more, you kind of saw, I don't want to say the extremes, but like the extremes of like the different
types. Areas of Hinch, and the different, just some people are really close together and in tight quarters, and then there's people who are out in the boonies,
right,
and there's like this little house on top of a hill, and that's where they live.
Right. Yeah. So talking a little bit more about the sellers, because I feel like I knew that already going in, but I really didn't, I don't want to say I didn't think about it, but I really didn't think about it. Like, seriously, I can't think of one other than the turkeys, like that they weren't sellers. Like the mom wasn't a seller. And how this actually functions or works, and obviously it's not working well. I mean, we're talking about a really poverty-stricken area, but like they basically all go out and buy something, an item, and it's all different items in bulk from somewhere, and then they take it home and they sell it to their neighbors at an increased price for very, very small profits, but it's just enough to put food on the table, or just enough for them to go back and to buy more of whatever they're doing.
Right.
And I think out of that was, I don't want to say it was the most shocking, but it was very, over and over and over again. It really was the only answer that was given. This is what all of these people are basically doing to survive. And some of them dads are involved, and some of them they're not. But even when dads are involved, the work is not consistent.
Right.
And so the fact that many of them do exist on this, it's unbelievable to me.
Yes, it really is, especially a lot of the homes, a lot of the people do not actually own their homes, so they're renting it. They're renting either the land or their home, or both. And so they're paying, I want to say, like 10,000 goods per year, which is, I don't remember.
I can't do the math. Tim could do it if he were here. But
this could totally be wrong, so if Tim watches this,
please post in the comments,
yes.
Tim.
I want to say it's like $60, or is it way more than that?
I want to say it's like $600.
Okay.
A year.
Okay. $600 a year. And
we're
so even
probably way off.
Yeah,
like it could be $200, because now I'm thinking
Probably.
something about $200 in my head too.
Well, I don't know.
We don't know.
But
Tim, please comment.
It's a pretty large amount of money for these families to be paying, because they're really not earning much money.
Right.
So for them to, I kind of lost my train of thought, but for them to just be selling and have this being their main income, them barely able to get food onto the table, not being able to pay even tuition for their kids to go to school, just these different things, like how are they paying to rent their house?
Yeah. Another thing that surprised me is that it's once a year. Like they pay once a year. It's not a monthly thing. It's not even a weekly thing. But to come up with that sum of money at one time in the year, like I was shocked at the fact that like they're doing that and they're able to do that.
Yeah, which is really interesting, because a lot of them don't have bank accounts. They have no way of saving their money. It's like, are they going to put it under the mattress? Like, how are they saving this money? And are they actually putting money away then to be able to pay the rent at the end of the year?
Yeah. So I want to get into more about Hinch and stuff, but I don't want the video to get too long. And I want to talk a little bit, lighten it a little bit about, obviously we've gone to the cockroaches already. People love that for whatever reason. I've gotten more comments about the cockroaches than I think anything else. But what were some of the like most precious moments to you as far as the relationships that you already have? So you knew people going in, obviously KK is your sponsor student. He was around the compound quite a bit, or just moments that you had when you weren't working, when you were just able to hang out with people.
Yeah, on this trip, because I was there a little bit longer, I was able to actually build stronger relationships with these people, which, oh my word, it was so incredible. I was able to
it's the best part.
It's so amazing. I was able to do dishes with the ladies in the evenings, and I only knew a couple of Creole songs, and I taught them some English songs too, but we would just sing and do dishes at the end of the night in the dark with just this little bulb up on top with a little bit of light so we could see a little bit, but and then doing laundry with them, or laying out the clothes on the roof to dry, and then just like sitting in the kitchen as they cooked and trying to communicate a little bit with them, or just pouring into their kids was a huge way for me to get into their hearts and to get into just a bond with them. Like I was able to hang out with their children and play with them and love on them, and through that I was able to connect with the parents so much more. And just as I was leaving, they were all asking when I was coming back, and we truly loved each other. We truly were a family. We truly were able to bond this trip, and that was just,
I think that's the hardest part to, like, explain to people too in a real sense, because like there is the language barrier there, but like because there's this language barrier, you're almost connected on a different level.
Yes.
And like to work along somebody, even if it's washing dishes or doing laundry, or even if it's just hanging out with their kids, like the few English words they know and the few Creole words you know, and you laugh over the fact of like when you're attempting to communicate, because it's funny because you're saying the word wrong and they're trying to teach you the word. And I mean, I even think the thing that comes to my mind, and I don't know why because it wasn't a beautiful moment, but there was a roach that had gone over my foot really quick and I had screamed, and one of the ladies had come in.
She had screamed, and then in that same moment, I bet like the cockroach had barely crossed her foot. She was on her bed, just like standing on it, just screaming.
The cockroaches were so big, I wasn't sure it was a cockroach at first.
Yeah.
It
could have been like a cat or something.
I mean, once I realized it was a cockroach, it wasn't as big of a deal. But like, until you know, you have to just take.
I had them in bed with me. So.
Safety first. I left you and Lexi standing there though, so I was out to save myself. But one of the ladies from the orphan, I mean, she ran into our room and like we can't communicate cockroach to her, but I'm like,
but she knew.
She totally knew what happened.
She was like ready to go kill it.
Yeah, she was on her hands and knees looking for that thing, and it was just like, and she was laughing at me, totally laughing at me, but I was laughing at myself. And like when you experience those types of things together, and like you're just women in the kitchen, or you're just there and you're bonding over their children, and you love their children, and they're so sweet. And again, it's not always words that like create that bond, and it's tough to explain that because it's not the same as what it is here. And you're not friends because your personalities are the same. You're not friends because your interests even are the same. You're friends because you were brought together by something greater, I think.
Yeah, no, that is so true. Like the communication obviously is very, very little, but I feel like like Amber was saying, just have a deeper bond with them, a deeper connection, a deeper relationship with them that like words cannot describe.
Yes, I think that's true. Yeah. So, okay, well, we have to cut this off now, otherwise I won't even be able to upload this. We will try to do another one soon.
Yeah,
next
sounds
time.
good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.